Good evening, teens. Good afternoon. Welcome to Eagle Public Library. This is our teen class, and today we're going to do some yarn wrapped letters. So let me show you my first one. It's not so great, but it gets better. So this one's okay. So my name is Anne. I decided to make an A. I just kind of grabbed some random yarn that we had around the library. I don't know if I thought this one out that well, but still pretty cool. So this is my first one that I made. What I did for all of these that I'm going to show you, I cut out some cardboard that we just happened to have around. You could, and here's what I did for one of them, and I'll show you that in a second. But what you could do is buy like chipboard letters or wood letters at a craft store. But I really wanted to do this with just items that I had around. And that you might even have around your house. So just a chunk of cardboard. I kind of traced this one, kind of freehand cut it out. But depending on how fancy you want your letter or straight, and this one isn't that straight. I think it kind of looks more like an animal or something. Anyway, A is for animal. So this one turned out way cooler. This, again, I just freehand cut this out of cardboard, and then I used these two cool colors, and this is going to be a little gift for someone. But this one turned out really cute, the letter J, and I added some embellishments to this one, which I thought turned out great. So this one's going to be really fun, and this is what I'm working on, so kind of give you an idea of where I'm at. Here's the I. So I found this letter I that I could print on the printer here. This is as big as it would print, 8.5 by 11, but there's a bunch of free downloadable letters if you just need an idea for how you want to do your letter. Lots of different fonts. So I just downloaded and printed an I to kind of help myself with this one, and then I just scaled it up. And I used a ruler with this one. I didn't with the others. The others are just kind of freehand. This one I did use a ruler and trace it out how I wanted my eye, because I wanted this one to come out really cool. I'm going to use this one for a gift as well. So with this one, I chose some rainbow colors of yarn that we had here at the library. And I actually measured these out. You might be able to see my little measurement marks in here. Yeah, there's one of them with green. I measured these out to be exactly an inch, so that I could get all the colors of the rainbow in here twice. So my Roy G. Biv, there's my red again, and it's going to finish down here with the purple and pink. So this one has been very well calculated, but you can see you don't have to go too crazy either. And these are pretty big. This is probably about 16 inches tall. You could make your letters way smaller. You can do your whole name. You could make just the first initial. These are really cute, just propped up on a bookcase, hung on a wall, really anywhere. They're fun, and they're soft because they're yarn. This yarn happened to be really soft. I really like this one. So let's get started. I've got my letter cut out, obviously, and I'm going to show you what I did. So here's the back side. This is where you can see some of my glue and where I've tucked things in. Here's the front. So this would be against the wall, or maybe against a bookcase. Leaning on a bookcase would be cute. Or wherever you want to decorate in your space. The other thing that's cool is you can make your letter out of whatever colors your space is, or accents for your space. So this one that's a gift is for somebody who loves these colors. So this one's going to be great. This one's for a friend who loves rainbow stuff. So this one, I will show you what I've done in the back. So one thing I found as I'm doing this, it is sort of helpful to wrap all in one direction. So these are all horizontal wraps. I could have on the eye wrapped this way, but here's the problem. You stop here, wrap, 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 and all of a sudden you're stuck here. There's nowhere to wrap, and you've got this whole section to cover here before you wrap, wrap, wrap here. Now it's hard to wrap that. So to avoid that issue, if you wrap all in one direction, you can cover those spaces that are horizontal and vertical. So that's one thing I learned, because I started doing this one and I got up to this part and I'm like, how am I going to wrap that? I'd done the legs first, and then, yeah, I did some more looking and thinking, and this is the way to go. Other options too. If you come up with a good idea, let me know. So all I did on this one, if you have a hot glue gun or even just some glue, I think even a glue stick or some Elmer's glue or some of the E6000, any glue you have. I love glue sticks, so I've got my hot glue gun ready. My next color, so I don't mess up, is going to be this purple color. So I'm going to just grab my purple and show you what I did to start. I start them all on the back. So here's the back side that's not really going to show. I start them here, and I'm just going to lay the bit of yarn down. And all I did to get all these started, I just kind of tuck this up a little and put a little glob of glue there and stick this down, kind of tucking it under the one before it. So I'm tucking the little bit of that purple underneath the blue there. You don't have to do it that way, it just kind of helped so that I don't have a bunch of ends really sticking out here. There's one I could trim off. So I'm going to get this started here, and I want this one. This wrap actually is going to go up here. I don't want to wrap down in here. So this one, I don't want to wrap next to the blue down low. I need it to actually be up here like the oranges. So we're going to just keep going here. And I did make a little mark where that 1 inch is. Remember, I had measured these out by inch so that I could get 14 stripes because I had 7 colors and I wanted each of those to show up twice. So this one I really did think out a little bit better than my other ones. I really didn't think those out. I just got going and sort of was just winging it. But this one I wanted it to turn out a little more thoughtful. So this is a fun little project. This, I think each letter maybe took me about an hour, depending on how much, thinking you do on it. So it doesn't take long. You could split the project up a little or maybe cut your letters out one day and do your yarn wrapping the next. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll tell you one thing that this one, there's the front. So these I just wrapped really carefully, like one row at a time and didn't let them cross. That gives you this look, which is kind of cool. But this one, I think I like it better, a little more texture. I did let them cross. I didn't try to line up each row. I've gone over it. Maybe there's 2 thicknesses of yarn. I just kind of kept going over it, letting them cross to make a texture that I liked and just to cover up all of the cardboard. I've also seen people paint their cardboard the color of their yarn. So if you were going to make this whole thing purple, you may want to take some purple paint and color the whole thing, and that way you don't have to worry about if any of the cardboard shows through. You don't have to go as thick as I did here trying to cover up the cardboard. You could go a little thinner, but really doesn't matter. I didn't do the painting on mine, but if you wanted to do that, you could, especially where I've got some edges. You're going to see an edge right here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. So we're going to get our purple wrapped around until I get to that little green mark. That was my inch mark there. And like I said, I'm not trying to do this carefully. When I'm wrapping, I want kind of that funky, bumpy texture to show. All right, let's see. I'm getting close. Luckily, with just the inch, it doesn't take too many wraps to get it all wrapped around. I'm just carefully going to the edge here. If you find that your yarn's popping off of there, you could put a little bit of glue on the edge, and I'm going to end up doing that anyway here in a minute with some glue. So we're pretty close to that 1 inch mark. I'm just going to get some, because we can push this up a little if we feel like we're going over that. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, now I got enough wrapped around, so we're just going to cut this off. And I'm on the back side of the cardboard again, so that this little tail is not going to show. I'm going to put a little glob of the hot glue gun glue down in there and put this piece of the tail in. I don't want to touch that. I'm going to get some glue on my scissors, but I don't want to touch that glue. This one is really hot. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I got down to that inch mark here. You can see it. And I can always move this up a little bit. I may put a little glue here so this doesn't slide, But now you can see that raw edge of the cardboard sticking up here, but you can't really see it here on the orange. So what I did was I just cut a bunch of little strips of orange after I had wrapped my orange, and then I took these little short strips and glued them down under that raw edge. Same up here with the red. I may need to go back in there a little bit. I'm seeing some of the brown sticking out there of the cardboard. But that's what I did, was I just took some of that yarn and just made little strips to cover our raw edge of cardboard. But like I said, you could paint that. If I had painted this purple, we wouldn't really see that raw edge. But I'll show you what I did to finish that. And I'm going to do that again on the bottom after I wrap the pink. The bottom of it, I will cover with some strips like I did here on the top. So I'm on the back side of this again. I guess it won't really matter. I'm just going to try to cut some little strips of the purple to cover up that raw edge of cardboard. I want them about the right length. I can always trim them later. And I'm going to just run a little bit of glue on here. And then we're going to glue down some of those strands of the purples to cover, or purple yarn to cover up our raw cardboard edge. I'll lay some more in there. You might need just 2 or 3. We'll see how it looks after I put these 2 in there. Just carefully so you don't burn yourself if you're using a hot glue gun. Or if you're just using Elmer's glue or any of that, that works great too. It may just take a little longer to dry. You may have to hold on to it for a second. But all of this glue will dry clear, so you won't really see it. I can go back in and kind of clean up some of the gluey spots that might be showing. Can trim them up with some scissors or get them off of there. So now let's get this all glued down where you won't see that raw edge of cardboard. That's pretty good. That might be the best one I've done. Yeah, there you go. Now you can't see that raw. Here's the raw cardboard edge on the top of the purple. Now I've covered here. I think that's looking pretty good. I've covered it. I've got some little loose ends here, so I'm just going to trim those. And I'm good to go. And once you're all done, you can kind of go looking for those little spots again, and that's how you're just going to fill them in. If you don't paint that. I could take a Sharpie or something and color that purple, but I like the idea of it really being covered with the yarn, and it's easy to do. So now I'm just going to do my pink around here. I didn't have an indigo, so we just kind of went, you know, purple, pink, which works. So here I'm going to just wrap this one around, and then I'm going to finish that raw edge, and this is done, except I do want to put some embellishments on my letter I. So if you have some bling, I had some little packets of cool bling. You could use buttons. I've seen people do cute little button patterns on the outside, kind of like I did with my letter J with the flowers. I've seen people do like little buttons in the corner that might coordinate with the colors of your yarn or match. But I have some cute little flowers. So let's try it. This isn't quite finished, but I'm going to try, let's do the top here and come up with maybe, I thought these all kind of match the colors that were in our cute little letter I with the rainbow colors. So let's do, I'm going to come up with maybe color choices I like here that go together. Maybe the pink and blue and white would be good. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I think I like that for my color combination. So I'm going to put 3 of these up at the top up here. And then when I'm done, I'm going to put 3, maybe like that or something. I'm going to glue, just hot glue those down up to the top of the letter I. And I think what I want to do is put some down here too, maybe on the opposite side. So this is going to look really cute when it's done. I will post a picture of this so you can see it. But if you make one of these yarn wrapped letters, actually I really hope you do. These would be great for gifts. I mean, something when you're not busy in the summer, you could start prepping for Christmas or holiday gifts, or just a super fun birthday gift for somebody. These are just a great little craft project. Hopefully you have some scraps of yarn around. If not, you can go grab some maybe cheap at a dollar store and just use cardboard for your letters, and just be careful cutting up the cardboard. I did use a like a X-Acto knife blade thing to cut this out. I put a ruler down next to it and followed it, and that helped. I had my fingers out of the way. So just be careful if you're doing that. Cardboard is hard to cut with just a scissor. So if you're doing it that way, or if you're going to buy your letters, then you don't have to worry about that part. But I hope you do it, and I hope you come up with something really cool. I bet you will. Take a picture and post it here on our Facebook page. Have a great night. See you next time.
Looking for your next great read? Try Novelist, and you'll receive just the right book suggestion. Visit eaglepubliclibrary.org/educational tools and look for the Novelist link.